Hey YouTube, I'm going to do a service on my Suzuki uh200 2009 plate. I believe it's a K8. So the service kit is basically this air filter. You've got a spark plug and this oil filter. You've got like the part numbers. So that's the part number and the spark plug. It's a 2-pin spark plug. So basically just going to do a quick service on my bike. So the tools you're going to need is basically a Phillips screwdriver, a socket or ratchet to remove the spark plug, and that's basically it. And obviously something to catch the oil when it drains out the bike. Okay, so this is where the air filter lives on the bike. So you'll have 5 screws. Just simply use a electric screwdriver. Remove all 5 screws. So you'll have 5 screws. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th screw is down the bottom. Then the air filter will look something like that. You've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on that to remove. So simply, again, if you've got an electric screwdriver, remove, and this panel comes off. Again, my kit did not come with one of these, but I will just give it a wash and then put it back in. So there's the filter. Simply remove the filter. So now we've removed the filter. In there, if it's a bit oily and messy in there, give it a good clean if you can, which I'm going to do now. So I've just given it a quick clean inside there. Still got a bit of chemical which I'll wipe down. And now I'm going to add the new filter. So as you can see, the new filter is there. And all you need to do is put this back on here and then line everything up and then screw it in place. So I've now screwed all the screws back in and the filter is in place, and then just fit the cover on. So just locate that in, line it all up, and then you need to insert all the screws in there. So just lining up all of these screws and then just simply screw them all in. Okay, as you can see, the filter is now screwed on. All the screws are closed, and make sure everything is closed. Also, I'd just like to add a little note. Just down here, there's that little thing just there. This holds any like dirt or anything like that. You can remove it and basically clean the entire filter up. That lets you know if when basically the bike hasn't been serviced. So again, I'm going to remove that and clean that in a second. So now we move on to the spark plugs. This bike only has one and it's located just there. Don't know if you can see that. So just here, remove the HT lead, and you've got the spark plug just sitting just there. Okay, you'll need a ratchet with the small socket spark plug remover. It is a 16mm spark plug remover. Just put it in there. You can use a normal 16mm socket if you haven't got one, but this one's got a special rubber grommet which actually holds the spark plug. Just unscrew that. So just remove that now and just remove the spark plug. So simply unscrew and then remove the spark plug. So as you can see, this spark plug is quite dirty. Try and focus it better, and you can see there's the 2 prongs on there. When the spark plug wears out, you'll see that these prongs will wear out and cause wear. You can also see how well your bike runs by how clean these spark plugs are. I've also taken apart the carburetor and all the internals and given it a good clean. If you don't use your bike a lot, the fuel can sit in the carburetor. This one has a weird sort of carburetor injection system on there. I don't know if I can show you it, but basically this hose has got an injector, one injector, and then you've got like half a carburetor here. There's no real adjustment apart from the idle screw here. So we're just going to replace this spark plug now. So this is the brand new spark plug I'm replacing with. Always check the gaps on the spark plug, because if it gets dropped and they touch, it can damage your bike. Again, you can check the owner's manual to see how wide they have to be set apart. So I'll just compare that to the other one, and basically the gapping more or less looks the same, so I don't need to check anything. And then just check the model number. This one is a CR8EK and this one is a CR8EK. So got the right spark plug, so it just fits in here. So again, I'm gonna just insert the new spark plug. Okay, so I put the spark plug in. Always hand tighten it. You don't want to cross thread it or damage any of the threads. And then just use the ratchet for the final couple of turns. So it's already hand tight, and then I'm just going to use this and tighten it. There you go. Don't want to over tighten it, because you could strip the head's thread on the aluminium head of this engine block. Put the HT lead in, and then as you heard, it clips. So I've done the air filter, I've done the spark plug, and now it's the oil filter. Okay, so the oil filter lives in that little housing, and that's where the oil, you pour the oil, and to fill it you can use that little oil removing, well, oil, you'll need a special oil sump to remove that one. It's basically an Allen key, and you can remove that with the right size Allen key. So now simply going to remove that cover. Pay attention to which direction that arrow is placed in. You got to put it back, so it looks like 3 8mm. Just before I'm going to do that, I have a special oil catch tank here, so I'm going to put that there and remove the oil. Okay, I'm going to put that. Okay, so remove the oil filter, and the bolts are different lengths. The first bolt that goes in here is quite short, just there. The second one is quite long, and the third one is long. As you can see, the oil is quite dark, and we have to drain the oil. Underneath the motorcycle engine there is a bolt which I can't really show you. I think you can just catch a glimpse of it just there, and that's to drain the oil, which I'm gonna do now. Okay, once you've drained and changed everything, you'll need to reset the service light. Now how you do this is basically hold down this button, turn the ignition, which I'm going to try and do with one hand, which I don't know how I'm going to do it. Hang on. Okay, so basically you've got to hold this button down, turn the ignition key while held down, wait a few seconds, and it will reset it. So when you turn the bike on, okay, and then obviously there's the oil change light up in the top corner there. So if you hold this button down and turn the ignition, okay, so I don't know if you saw, it was 2800 before on the oil light service. So now I've done that, and then it'll go to 888, and then you see you get the 3000 miles for the service, and basically that's it. The engine oil I'm using is Castrol Power One T4 Racing. You need about 1.5 litres of oil for this bike. I think it's 1200 cc's of oil. It's written on the engine, but I'm just going to double check, and then that's basically the service for a uh200 K8. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck.